I was tired. Yeah, and the one makes sure
Once again, the Barnesville Village School District and Shamrock Football would like to thank the
Where'd it go? All right, we're back here to start the second half at Shamrock Stadium. Rock set to kick off. Carpenter still the kicker. Back deep for the Jaguars is Campbell and Frazier. 14-6 our score here to start the half after a very interesting first half, huh, Brian?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
This kick is going to be fielded by number 5. That's Christian Brown. He's going to get around the left side. Nice block there. Finally brought down by a couple Shamrocks up around the 36-7-yard line. So a nice little return there. And the Jaguars will get going here. Only down 1 score, but they'll have to go for 2 since the other one was called back with a penalty.
Yeah, should be interesting. I mean, KIPP was driving the ball extremely well, running the ball effectively to end that first half. We'll see if they can keep that momentum that they had going for them and continue it in the start of the second half.
So KIPP will have the ball. Left hash, exactly at the 37. And that's where we'll start the second half. He'll take the snap. It'll be direct snap to Frazier. He's going to get brought down from behind by Ethan Spangenberg.
And that's huge. Like, that play from the backside has to, if that DN can make the play, that's going to make Barnesville a lot more effective against this running attack from the Jaguars.
Still no word about what happened to quarterback Tymier Wynn. Like we said earlier, their offense looked a whole lot better when he was in, but Frazier's taken over, and he's got a nice explosive run here as he's going to get brought down, but not before he picks up a first down. Gain of about 11 there. That'll move the chains.
And KIPP just running the ball pretty effectively. I mean, haven't been able to sustain it for a full drive too often, but they've been able to get some nice chunks of 10 to 15 yards on some runs here. I don't think they've completed a pass and have rarely went to the air in general.
Be interesting to see how their offensive attack here plays out. Frazier will take the snap. Officials timeout. The men dressed up as zebras, even though Halloween was last week. They'll want to restart the play clock and try to get things figured out here.
He took a look at the right tackle for KIPP, but I don't know what he was looking at. Something with the helmet, but
did something beyond us.
Must wanted to hear him blow his whistle, I guess.
So Frazier will take a snap, drop back, looks the throws. He's got Brown on a nice post route, brought down by Owen Wise, but picks up about 25 there.
In the middle of the field, just wide open, 20 yards down.
That wasn't Brown, I'm sorry. That was Xavier Ferguson, who's had a couple catches tonight, actually. Nice route there by 5.
And Barnesville moving Hannes to safety out to a side, and that just opened up the middle there where he traditionally plays, and that's a nice solid strike there for KIPP.
Gain of about 2 here by Campbell. They'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball to 25-yard line. Rocks up 8. And they'll come out and they'll be in the gun. Frazier will drop back, looks, throws. Same route! Picked off, throw it right to Connor. Chase Connor lost his footing.
I don't know if he just didn't see Connor, but Connor was spying that the whole way. They tried to get him with another post, and Connor just popped up and a throw was right to him. Didn't have to move at all for it.
It's interesting because you don't know if that was a different call and an adjustment made by defense coordinator Bryce Allen, or Connor just wasn't in the right spot last time, and it worked so well they weren't worried back to it, but they got him this time because he was where he was supposed to be.
And whatever it was, great adjustment, and it works out for the Rocks, and that shuts down another KIPP drive that looked promising for a while.
So the Rocks will be in the gun here. Connor, the tight end in motion. Hannes will take the snap, fake the pitch out to Wise, and he'll come around on a quarterback sweep, and he's going to pick up about 6 or 7. Thrown into the fence. Fly comes in late. Shamrock baseball is mad.
And Hannes got thrown into the fence there. I think if he would have just went to the ground, got thrown to the ground, they might not have called that. But when he gets thrown into the fence, the official feels like he's got to call something there.
Anytime there's any extra, movement towards making a tackle or any kind of aggression, as soon as your foot goes out of bounds, it's, it could always warrant a flag. In that case, it did. I think it looked worse because the fence is only 3 foot from the sideline. But regardless, you got to be disciplined enough not to do that.
And through 2+ quarters of this game, that's been the Rock's best play style. I mean, either that fake pitch like they ran there or doing the pitch the other way. I mean, that's gotten them pretty positive yardage on about every time they've ran it
it's
so
a nice
far.
progression of plays that Coach Allen has. DeSantis will take the snap, flag on a play. He's going to pick up about 6 or 7.
That ball was thrown, or that flag was thrown immediately, even before there probably could have been holding. So that makes me wonder there.
I don't think the Rocks were set, and that's what it was thrown on. Too many. You can't have more than one guy in motion. Someone else was probably moving while Bliss was in motion, so we'll call it on that. So it'll negate the nice run there by Hannes. Get the Rocks off schedule. Be 1st and 15. 9:46 and counting here, left in the third. Brian, I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of like hanging out over by this heater on the wall. It got chilly tonight.
Yeah, I'm making the sacrifice here, getting the view, getting it so we can both see.
Yeah. I'm doing this because of the view, not because of the heat. So they'll come back and run the same type of play, but they'll give the jet to Bliss. Nice block by Owen Wise there. Bliss running side to side instead of vertical. Not going to really pick up much there. I think the Rocks had a really nice play set up right there. And the lack of, effort to get vertical with that run, I think, stunted it.
Give credit to KIPP. They did pretty good contain there. Made the outside look good for Bliss, and he tried to break it out, but they closed on him quick and just
they rallied quick.
Minimal gain there.
So it'll be 2nd and 14. Here, Rocks will be in a trip set. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Hannes will take the snap, drops back, looks. It's going to be a screen out to Wise. They got blockers out for him. Alvarez gets a nice block. Wise will run through a man. He's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down marker, and that'll bring up the third manageable.
And again, when they throw that pass, he's got 30 yards in front of him, and this KIPP team just extremely quick to close on the ball, and still gets about 13 there, but stops him. Actually, I think he got about 12 there. Going to stop him 3 yards short of the first down.
So it'll be 3rd and short here for the Rocks. Hannes will be under center, I formation. He'll turn around and hand it off. That's to Wise. And
he is upended.
Trips Wise up, red line scrimmage for no gain.
So we'll see what the Rocks do here. And a similar spot to what they were in the first half when they tried to use a hard count and get KIPP to jump, but it was unsuccessful, and they ended up punting to KIPP. And I believe that was when KIPP had a really good punt return for a touchdown. They got called back, so dangerous team to kick to.
Yeah, I don't think they want to kick back to him, as it looks like they're going to be in the same set, and it'll be a direct snap to Bliss. Nice punt.
And he's just going to let that one go. It's going to take it. Whoa, would have taken a Shamrock bounce, but they caught it as soon before it bounced.
Connor ran up on it, and so KIPP will take over around the 17-yard line. Obviously, it's been made apparent to me that Barnesville does not want to kick to KIPP, and for good reason. Like you said, that one got called back, and I don't think we might see the regular punt unit out unless it's 3rd or 4th and forever.
Well, and 2, we've yet to see KIPP really punt to a Shamrock returner. Spencer Bliss normally back there hasn't really got going on any returns. The one time that they came out with good field position was on the short punt that only got to about the 30, and it ended up in a touchdown for the Rocks. But I think both teams have game breakers that return punts and kicks, so both teams playing it extremely safe whenever they have to kick the ball.
So Frazier will be in the pistol, will turn around and hand it off to Campbell, and he'll pick up about 3, a tough 3. So to bring up 2nd and 7 here. Rocks up 8. KIPP looking to answer. They'll have to get a 2-point conversion to tie here, so that's a crucial thing. So we have to look back, you know, when there was the attempted 2-point conversion earlier. As Campbell hits the hole hard, tries to break 3 tacklers, leans forward, he's close to the first down. But you look back to that 2-point conversion they had earlier and they completed it, but they said the quarterback was beyond the line of scrimmage and they negated it.
Yeah, there's just been a couple moments like that that may not seem like a big play, but right now that's a big difference here.
So it'll be 3rd and 1 here. So he'll take the snap, and it was bad. It was supposed to be a handoff to Campbell, but Frazier said, I'll do the rest, as he'll have one man to beat. That's Hannes. He's going to make a cut. He's going to go the distance. Going to be a touchdown for KIPP on a busted play.
And that's once as a Shamrocks, that'll drive you insane. That was a busted play from the beginning, a bad snap that he couldn't get the handoff, and he just calls his own number and goes virtually untouched.
That was, I'm more athletic than you, catch me, and no one could. So that brings our score to 14-12. KIPP is going to have to go for 2. They're going to put the ball on the left hash. You get the choice on the 2-point conversion here. Campbell will be the lone back in the backfield. And they're going to roll towards him. Frazier's going to pump, roll, throw, fires! Pass deflected, incomplete. So KIPP will remain down 2 points here.
But yeah, I mean, good scoring drive there. I was just thinking that the Shamrocks were doing a little bit better of getting to the ball on the ball carrier and limiting the bigger gains, but then he just takes a busted play and goes the distance. I mean, it's one that's not going to have the Shamrock coaching staff too happy.
So looks like we have ourselves a ball game, Brian.
Yep, like we said from the start, we expected this one to be a tight one. Just got a little bit tighter.
Yeah. See how the Rocks respond here. It'd be interesting to see, you know, if they go back to that same progression of plays to where they're using a toss and the quarterback sweep off it, or if they have a pass off it for some sort of screen. I'm sure there's a third wrinkle in there. I'm curious to see if we see that here.
And Barnesville's been moving the ball pretty effectively. They just got themselves a little bit behind schedule and couldn't recover. So staying in front of the chains is the key for Barnesville on this next possession.
Speaking of the chains, shout out to our chain game who did a tremendous job all year. And
we were told at halftime by not only a member of the chain gang, but the mayor of Barnesville that we gave everyone shout-outs on this stream except for the chain gang. So we want to give a shout-out and thank you to everything they do to make the game days go. And we got an onside kick here.
Oh, it looks like the KIPP had a chance at it, but the Rocks recover.
Well, it looked like almost it was touched by a KIPP player before it reached 10 yards, but it was close. I think, yep, they did call that.
Yep. They sure did. They said he touched it before. Interesting, man. That was a really interesting looking onside kick. Rocks were not expecting it at all. Good job to go back and get on it, but I like the call there by KIPP.
You got some momentum going for you. Why not try to just take control of this game?
I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure. Quick look at the scores around the Valley. Shady Side's up 20-6 over Waterford. Bel Aire's still down 23-14 under Garfield. And River still up over Bern Union, 33-21. So Hannes will be in a 5-wide set. Looks like he wants to put a man in motion, but doesn't. They're going to throw a bubble out to Bliss. It's 3v2, and he's going to get a nice block. Finally brought down after about 6 or 7.
And that was just a case of having more receivers out to a side than they had DBs, so it was 2-on-2 blocking pretty much, and that was Bliss able to pick up about 7.
Where I was saying earlier, the seam was open. That's because you only got 2 guys on 3 out there.
And it's a good thing he did throw that screen because they had an open blitzer that was coming untouched right at Hannes. And almost got a hand on the ball, honestly.
So there's no one really out on the 3 receivers on the top of your screen as Connor was screaming at Hannes to snap it because they had the mismatch out there, and he wasn't able to, and KIPP was able to come in and call a timeout there, and rightfully so.
And I think they just got saved there big time, and their coach was not too happy that he had to get that timeout called. But I don't think Coach Allen was happy that they didn't get that snap off.
Yeah, you can use your timeouts whenever, usually in the first half. In the second half, though, you want to save them, especially in a close game, because you get a possession, you're down a score with a minute to go, you're going to need all three.
Yeah, if you're KIPP, you didn't want to use it there, but if you're Coach Allen, you didn't want him to use it there either, because I think he saw something he really liked and just wasn't able to take advantage of it.
But the sad thing is, it's better to use a timeout than to give up 6.
Exactly. Any timeout that saves a touchdown is a timeout worth taking.
That's right. That's the frustrating thing. I'm sure their defensive coordinator's frustrated, not been able to get lined up. And we haven't seen a ton of empty tonight, so I'm sure that plays into it. It's interesting what you can do to manipulate the defense when you go into so many different looks. We'll be in a heavy eye, and you turn around and you're in the 5 wide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to prepare for both, and it's really hard for kids to understand that and to be able to grasp, what you're asking them to do and figure out what the offense is truly trying to do.
And like we said, coming off a game last week against Colgrove that you saw 3 fullbacks, 2 tight ends each play, this is a lot different than you're used to seeing.
So the Rocks will come back out, and the same thing. Wide open, Chase Connor, touchdown, Shamrocks.
You called that one early. Seemed wide open. I think was waiting on another bubble screen there, and just no one went with Connor. I think Connor took a couple steps pretending to be a blocker and then just took off, and there wasn't anyone within 15 yards when he caught that.
Rocks finally able to attack the seam, and it looked like they had a fake bubble at the top of the screen, and Hannah's kind of looked at it for a second, and Connor was just able to run wide open. And
just that moment of looking towards the screen was enough to freeze all the KIPP defenders, and Connor was just able to run past them all.
So now Carpenter will be on to attempt the extra point as KIPP's head coach is trying to get something explained to him by the referee.
I don't think there was anything I think the only thing he might be looking for is if Connor wasn't an eligible receiver there, it'd be an ineligible receiver downfield, but I think pretty clearly lined up as a receiver.
Carpenter's kick is up, and goodbye, Mile. That'll bring our score to Barnesville, 21, KIPP, 12.
And good response there from the Rocks. KIPP was looking to take some momentum and right back. Now we'll see if the defense can get a big stop here.
Other than a busted play, and it seems like anytime KIPP's really moved the ball, it was on these unorthodox type plays. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to put together a drive or just continue the big play.
Well, one thing I noticed on that last scoring drive for KIPP is due to the nature of the busted play, it ended up being almost like a counter. Yeah. Quarterback took it, and instead of handing off, he just went the way he originally took the snap. Well, I'm KIPP. If I have any counter plays in my playbook, I'm looking to call those and see if I can catch the Shamrock defense over pursuing a little bit.
So Frazier will be back deep to return to the Jaguars. Carpenter set to kick off for the Rocks here. I was curious to wonder if we'd see the freshman Lowe, if he would do any kicking tonight, but we hadn't just yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's awfully impressive too, but Carpenter's just been booting the ball pretty well.
That'll be fielded around the 7-yard line as Frazier makes a nice cut. Makes a miss. Stiff arm. Knocked out of bounds. Pushed late. No call. Was close. So the Jaguars will take over at the 35-yard line after a really nice return by their quarterback there.
He's kind of been a do-it-all for them tonight so far. Cam Frazier, don't have any stats on him, but listed on our roster as a receiver, but he's been taking a majority of the snaps tonight. Just scored that last touchdown for KIPP, and just been pretty effective. Returning punts for him, returning kicks. I'm assuming he plays defense too. I think they'll have him listed as a starter at DB too. Just all over the place for him. A penalty call.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think there was a hold on KIPP there that moved him back a little bit. I just missed the flag. So.
I did too. I completely missed it. So it'll be 1st and 10 here from the 25 is where the Jaguars will set up shop as Frazier will take the snap, hand it off to Campbell. He's been electric tonight. He's going to try to get around the edge. Does! Makes a couple men miss. Finally brought down by Gavin Carpenter. A great job there by the Shamrocks defense. They continue to rally towards the football.
Well, Luke Detling had very good contain there, but what the sideline's telling him is when he comes to your side, then you got to attack him. He just kind of waited on him, and when he's standing flat-footed, it's easy enough to make a move on him, and he's able to get past him. So I think Barnesville's looking to still be disciplined, but attack the ball a little bit more.
Got a one-on-one matchup at the top of your screen. And Frazier will take a direct handoff, and it's going to be a quarterback ISO. Thought he had a little bit of room out on the edge, decided to stick his nose up inside. Picks up a powerful 6, though, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down Jaguars.
Yeah, just got in a pretty big pile with a couple of his big linemen, and it works out for him.
.4:10 and counting left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Frazier will be in the gun alongside Campbell. Will take the snap, drops back, looks, throws. Waiting, rolls out to his right. Finally finds his man, complete. That was to number 1, I do believe.
And we got a late flag coming.
It was actually Draylon Manley, number 6, was the one who caught that. So the refs try to figure it out here.
So lineman went a little too far down the field there. I believe that's they give you a yard on pass plays that you can go forward.
You get anywhere from like a yard to 3, they say, and it gets really tricky when teams run RPOs. Yeah. We haven't really seen that yet this year. We've seen the Rocks run a couple, but like that's when it gets interesting because they never call it because it could be a run play. So an interesting one there. And
that one saves Barnesville from giving up another 1st down. It'll still be 1st down for KIPP, but backed up a little bit.
KIPP now at the 30-yard line as Frazier will take the snap. Plows ahead, picks up about 9. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 here as the Jaguars, before the holding penalty on the ensuing kick return, they now back to where they would have started. A lot of work just to get back there.
Yeah, like we said, athletic but not extremely sharp so far in this game.
Frazier will be in the gun alongside Campbell. Brown in the slot on the trips on the bottom of your screen. Bubble concept out here as Frazier will be a direct run. Wrapped up by Gavin Carpenter for a gain of nothing. That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
And for being Shamrocks, All-Ohio, and Gavin Carpenter haven't called out his name near as much as we normally do. I think the size of KIPP's line giving him a little bit of problems, and they're paying extra attention to him, but able to break through there and catch him from the backside and make a good play. But we got another KIPP player down.
Officials timeout due to the injured player, like you said, Brian. Looks to be one of their linemen down, grabbing his knee, and you never, ever want to see that with the lineman. So often, those big guys get rolled up on.
Yeah. That's why you see most of them, once they hit college, they'll be wearing a brace to protect them from that. But
yeah, our guys, they have to wear them. So not, they get extras, and they don't practice.
And normally, like, around here, you're not seeing very big lines. But like we said earlier, KIPP's line, just based on height and weight, rivals some colleges. And, I mean, yeah, when you get someone rolled up on you, that's a lot of weight falling on, a lot of pressure being put on that knee.
And I think their offensive lines actually played pretty well tonight.
Yeah, they've, in all the games we've done this year, we've seen Gavin Carpenter and most of the Shamrocks line kind of live in the backfield, and it's been tough to run on the Shamrocks and normally put a lot of pressure on the quarterback for the other team, but tonight been relatively quiet. I mean, that's partly due to KIPP's game plan to just kind of do design quarterback runs, but just not near as much penetration as they have been getting.
The man down was number 66, Jordan Hall, 6'7", 320, if you were wondering. False start here by the Jaguars.
That'll take it from about a 3rd and 5 back to a 3rd and 10. So, I mean, we're getting into the latter stages of this 3rd quarter, but this is a big play here.
Big play, 3rd and 10, ball in the 35. Frazier will be in the gun, drops back, looks. He's got a man in a hole, doesn't throw it, but he's going to try to take a deep shot to Brown. Overthrow everybody, incomplete. I'm sorry, Ferguson.
Interesting here. What do you do if you're KIPP? I think you about have to punt this ball.
I think you got to punt too, but you sure don't want to.
I'm honestly surprised they took a deep shot there. I thought they were going to, if they would have picked up maybe 5 or so, I think they probably would have went for it here.
They actually had a snag route open at about 7 yards, and the ball never got thrown to them. There was 2 linebackers on both sides of him, but there was a window, and the receiver did a nice job settling down in the hole. And I just don't think Frazier saw him, because he would have had enough for at least 4th and 1, 4th and 2. If not, turned and run, picked up some yards.
I think Frazier was looking at the looking for the seam the entire time, and the Shamrocks had it pretty well covered.
And Carpenter's going to get back into the backfield, bring down the punter for a huge sack. Rocks will take over in the red zone.
That is a huge play. We just said that we hadn't called his name out, and he just might have made the play of the game there. Kind of a high snap, like it wasn't overly high. It was just kind of a lob snap, like it wasn't very hard back to the punter, and punter mishandled it a little bit, and by the time he got his handle and went to punt it, Carpenter was in his face and makes a good play on it and sets the Shamrocks up at the 20-yard line, best field position of the game, and they've been pretty good whenever they pick it up in plus territory.
So we'll see how the Rocks respond here. It'll be 1st and 10. They'll stay in the gun. Trips to the top of your screen. A nub set with the tight end. They're going to run a little reverse back to Bliss. Going to make a nice cut. 1, 2. Finally brought down by the 3rd man, but not before he picks up 5 yards.
And if you're the Shamrocks, just keep doing what you're doing. You've been moving the ball pretty effectively in a variety of running plays. Haven't had to go to the air too much besides that strike to Connor, but that was set up by running and screen plays.